Hey everyone, this is Jordan from Sleeklens.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do the tilt shift effect in Photoshop. So real quickly, the tilt shift effect is basically simulating a very large depth of field in post-processing. If you have a tilt shift lens by chance, then this effect will be done in camera, but a lot of people actually do this effect in post-processing just because it's a way easy effect to do. So I'm going to show you how to do this right here. And just to start this off with, this effect really works well on images that are shot at elevation. So if you have an image similar to this that is shot up high, and your main focus in this particular photo, it would be most likely the road and the cars, is below the camera, this actually works really well with images like that. So the first thing we're going to do this effect is actually duplicate our layer. So I'm just going to drag it down here at the bottom, duplicate the layer, and now I have a second duplicated layer right here on top. And now I'm going to apply a blur to this top layer. A lot of people actually use the Gaussian blur, so I'm going to go to Blur, Gaussian blur, or you can use lens blur. So I think I'm going to use lens blur because I like that effect a little bit better. So here's the lens blur dialog box. It's kind of a little more complicated than the Gaussian blur, but the slider we really need to concentrate on is the radius, and of course if you increase the radius, the more blur that you get in your image. So we don't want it to be that blurred out. We want to be able to still make out some of the images and the subjects in the photo. So I'm going to put it right around. For this particular photo, I'm going to put it right around 1920. And I'm going to click OK and wait for it to render. And there we go. We have our blur. And so now what we want to do is take away the portion, a linear portion of the photo that we want back in focus. And the way we're going to do that is make a layer mask down here. So I'm just going to click on the layer mask, and I'm going to get a black brush. I'm going to get a very fairly large black brush. I'm going to make sure it's feathered at 0%, so it's a very soft brush. And I'm just going to paint a straight line all the way across here. And the way you do that to have a perfectly straight line is to actually hold Shift as you paint. So I'm going to hold down the Shift button, and I'm just going to draw a straight line just like that. And as you can see, what it does is basically give you a what I kind of call a miniature model effect. So what this looks like is actually a very small miniature model that you took a photo of. And so you can see the cars are completely sharp here. Everything else is blurred out. But this is basically the tilt shift effect. And so, if I wanted to blur this a little bit more, I can click on the image, go to blur, go to lens blur again, and I can just increase the blur just to try to get it to exactly the way I want it to be. So I'm just going to bump it up just a little bit, click OK, and there we go. It applied a little bit more blur. So it's a really kind of a cool effect to do, especially if you're shot at elevation and you want to give a effect of a very large depth of field when you have images that are shot at elevation. This is kind of the effect that it gives. So hope you enjoyed that quick little tutorial on the tilt shift effect in Photoshop. Thank you for joining me in this video. This is Jordan from Sleeklens.com, and I'll see you in the next video.